Hello everyone. Temperature been kind of cold this couple of days, so I decided to brew up my own batch of red beans and rice. As you all know that we closed the location in Corpus Christi down, so I just want to share with you guys the recipe that how I made it at home. Well, the restaurant we're making a bigger batch, so it will be a little bit different. For the home cook up there that you be watching this video, I want to show you how to make it. You can make it at home and still have the same good Momo test. Just to start, I want to kind of go over the main ingredient that I put in the red beans and rice. So here we have the most crucial piece of ingredient, which is tassel ham. These are what I bought from Louisiana. If you don't have the tassel ham, if you're alright, get some neck bone and smoke them with some Cajun seasoning on there. But these are the neck bone I bought at the local grocery store that's pre-smoked. Since I have tassel ham, I'll put them both together and they will complement each other. And these are the andouille sausage that I bought also from Louisiana. These are from the Basket Market Smokehouse. And just to make the flavor a little more complex, I bought some smoked sausage from a regular grocery store. And these are pecan smoked home smokehouse, but you can get HEB brand. Like I particularly like the hatch chili they have every once in a while at HEB. It adds a complexity because for vegetable you usually have your standard Trinity, bell pepper, onions, and celery. And I have some green onion too, just to garnish and all the other stuff. The ratio between the Trinity is 2 parts onion, 1 part bell pepper, and 1 part celery. Cooking is just like everything else. You have to start with a good foundation. And for this dish, the red beans and rice, your base foundation is your stock. So you have to start out with a good stock. To make the stock, what I did is I used a smoked neck bone in the pressure cooker, and I take the leftover veggie cut off for the Trinity and everything else, just like the end pieces. Go ahead and put it in there, and I'll fill it up and I'll put it in this Instant Pot, which is a pressure cooker, for about 45 minutes to an hour. And once that cooked down, I'll strain it and we'll go from there. While the stock is cooking, I went ahead and diced up all the meat. And this is the regular sausage, and this is andouille sausage. I cut them in slices, and I also cut them in I also dice them up. These will goes into the pot for rendering. I want to render all the fat and flavor out, and I'm gonna cook the Trinity with it. And this is the tassel, and I'll add the tassel in there. Well, while the pot is heating up, I'll put a little oil just to get the rendering started. Just a little bit to coat the pan. You don't want too much oil because once we start rendering the andouille sausage, a lot of oil is going to come out. So I'm going to turn the heat down, and I'll put the chopped andouille sausage in here. I'm going to render some fat out of it. You don't want to crank the fire up because it may burn your sausage. Right now your main goal is to render the fat out of the andouille sausage. Once I got some of the front built up on the bottom of the pan, you see this brownish bit, those are called front, those are the goodies. And you see the andouille sausage has kind of rendered down a little bit, and there's enough fat in here so I won't burn much. So I'll add in the rest of the andouille sausage. Continue the rendering. And once you brown all the sausage, as you can see, all the sausage start browning up, the big pieces of sausage. I'll toss in my tassel. Tassel is very lean, that's why I tossed it in late. If you toss it too early, it may burn. So now you have enough oil in the pot, and you toss in the tassel. Just try to cook it a little more. Oh, I wish you can smell this. It's just wonderful. And you can see the heavy punch start building up to the bottom, and this is a good sign. And the next thing you want to do is add your Trinity in there. And once you cook your Trinity, as you cook your Trinity, it will deglaze the punch. Nope. Onion, bell pepper, celery, because there's water in the vegetable. So once it draws up the water, it's gonna help deglaze that part of the pan. And this time we're gonna hit it with a little seasoning, just a little bit to help the vegetable cook down, because salt will help break down the vegetable. So just a little bit, maybe 1 teaspoon, just to help it break down. And you don't want to put too much, you get too salty. After a little while, as the onion and all the Trinity cooks down, you can start building funds again. You see that brown stuff? It's a sign of the onion and all the other vegetables being cooked down and has been caramelizing. Oh, you can hear the stock is ready. And we'll add some garlic in there. Just about 3 cloves, 3-4 cloves. After we let our garlic cook for a little bit, I'll start adding dry spices. So I have like 2 or 3 bay leaves. I'll chop them out that way. Just chop them out with my hand. And we'll add a little thyme. I say about 1 teaspoon, or 1 tablespoon, close to it. And time we get some, I want some basil in there, just maybe just a hair, and some oregano. Where's my oregano? Fine, and I'll put it in later. But now you can really smell the aromatic to start working. You see the sponge start sitting on the bottom. That means you're getting ready to add the stock in here. And let me let the steam out on the pressure cooker. You don't want that to burn, so I'm gonna have to turn the turn the stove way down, because it starts getting brown. And then we add some smoked paprika. Now you can really smell it. Right. Now I want to add a couple tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Maybe 3. And maybe 3 hot sauce. You can add that towards the end to fine tune your flavor, but this is just like the base flavor you want to cook in the pot. That moisture that I just add, this hot sauce and everything, will help kind of deglaze it. Now that our stock is ready from the pressure cooker, I will remove that lid, but be careful, there's the steam in there, so don't burn yourself. I let it cool off before I strain it, but just to continue our pot over there, we can just ladle out some stock. We will strain it and add the rest to it later. You see the goodness in here. Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna crank up the heat a little bit to medium. You'll hardly see me use high heat, because for this kind of cooking, you really don't need it. I want to see start building clumps again on the bottom of the pot. Then I start throwing the stock. Now you can really see caramelize. Got onion, bell pepper, and celery. Oh, so good. And now I'm gonna pour in the stock that I laid off the stock pot. Then I'm gonna drain that, but this will get it going. Oh yeah. You want to kind of work it to get all the spots on the pot off into the juice or soup or whatever you call it right now. And since the stock is still hot, it doesn't take no time to come to a boil. Then we're going to turn it down to simmer. We don't want to burn anything. At this point, I'm just going to let it cook for a little while. Let everything get happy before I put the beans in. The next step, we want to drain the stock from the pressure cooker. And it'd be a lot easier when I was in a restaurant. We had this big strainer, but at home, really, I've been looking all over for some stuff that I can drain. But I found this pot, this pot to have a strainer, so I'm trying to use this and be very, very careful when you do that at home. When you do this at home, because the pot is very hot. And even though it's been open for at least 30 minutes now, the temperature is still very hot. So you have to be very, very careful. Make sure you use a lot of liquid to hold it. And I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to pour it in there. Oops, set it down. I don't want to slip. Key is, the biggest problem you have with this is you may slip and the stuff get all over the place. But, well, we're pretty successful. Get all the stuff out of here. Temporarily put this back later. But for now, that is our stock. And I'm gonna try to tilt it, see if I can tilt this to let it drain a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm gonna let it drain for a little bit longer. And once it cool off, I'm gonna peel all this meat off the neck bone and put it back into the beans. So, well, while that strainer was going, was draining over there, I'll go ahead and pull the bottom part of the stock, the pot out, and I got my stock here, so I'm gonna add it to the. Add it back here. I may have too much liquid, I don't know, but I think we're good. I think we'll be alright. I don't think the beans will make it overflow or anything like that. We'll see. If that happens, I just let it cook off a little bit before I add the beans in. It's all good. Put the lid on. And this is the strainer. I'm gonna pour the beans back into the strainer. This thing has been soaking for like 24 hours. I'm gonna add it back. I'm gonna add it back into the pot. Pour this in there. Hopefully it doesn't overflow. Well, I think we're good. See, as the bean cooks, it's gonna swell some more, and the water's gonna evaporate some more. So we're gonna get a pot of bean about this much, just about the same amount that we showed here. So now it's all a time game. You just have to sit there and let it work its magic, let the heat work its magic. Well, now that the meat, the neck bone has cooled down quite a bit to the workable temperature, so now I'm gonna take the meat off the bone, and I'm gonna put the meat back into the beans. There's still a lot of meat on there. You don't want to throw this away. after I let it simmer for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, I had to go somewhere, so I shut it off. And what happened is when you shut it off, it'll continue to cook because there's residual heat inside the pot. So it's been a couple hours. So what I'm gonna do is gonna turn the heat back on, bring it back to a boil, and let it simmer for a little longer. Now it start boiling, and I add some green onion. I chopped some green onion to add it to it. So I'll let it cook down a little bit. And at this moment, I'm just gonna turn the thing low, put the lid on, and let it cook. I mean, the beans are soft, but I want it to cook a little bit more, so it'll thicken. All right, folks, we are done. You can just look at it. This is nice. So Tina, try some. Try some.
Okay, I try. What happened?